Have you ever looked up at the sky at night and thought, man, I wonder what's up there? Well, now you can find out. When you open the Sky Guide app, you want to hit this button so that it brings you back to your true location. After I hit that button, this is what showed up on my iPad. In the northern direction at my location, I saw the constellation Cassiopeia. The neat thing about this app is that it provides a picture with the constellations, so it intrigues you to learn a little bit more about it. In order to do that, I'm going to hit this button right here, and it will take me to this page. This little column slides over, and it gives you information about the constellation. So it gives you more of the astrology behind it. It gives you the story behind the name and the Greek goddess or god that it was named after. A lot of people argue, though, that astrology is not true science, so we want to look more into astronomy, which is true science. So in your constellation, here's Cassiopeia. Within this constellation, it gives you the name of the stars that are in it, and you see right here Epsilon Cas is circled because I tapped on it. So I want to get some more information about this star, so I hit this button again, and it brings me to this screen. In this column that opened up, it explains more of an astronomical feature of the app. It tells you the right ascension of the star, the declination, the visual magnitude, the luminosity, the distance from Earth, the spectral type, and other names. It also gives you some interesting information about the star that you would want to know, such as what type it is, when it explodes, what type it will be. It says that this star will become a red giant. It also says that it has a really neat blue color to it, and it's pretty unique because not a lot of stars put out that color. So this feature of the app really just brings home everything you want your child to know about a star, a planet, or a galaxy. You can click on either anything and it will tell you all this information about it. And it really is good for teachers, for them to tell their students to go home and look at something, and they can look it up and have all this information and relate the vocabulary to their sky right at home. So as a teacher, as I was saying, you can tell your student to go home and look at the sky with this app and pick out a planet, galaxy, or a star that they want to study and look at, or they could actually search it. And an interesting thing with the search is that you can actually tell when it sets, when it rises. For example, Andromeda, the constellation, at this point says that it will set in 15 hours and 26 minutes. So if we hit this button, we will see a bunch of options that it lists. These are the options that you can choose from. There's preferences, location, help, share, credits, downloads. So if we hit preferences, this is what shows up. It's basically a checklist of what you want to show up in your Sky Guide. The sounds preference is really cool. If you click on a star, it will make a sound, and if it's a high-pitched sound, that means that the star is really bright. If it's a low-pitched sound, it means that the star is pretty dim. If the volume of the sound is really loud, that means it's a big star, and if the volume of it is really low, that means it's a little star. If you hit the location option, it gives you this screen, and it will tell you what your current location is using latitude and longitude. And if you want to check out what the sky looks like in a different longitude and latitude, then you can manually plug that in. If you choose the share option, this is the screen that shows up. You can actually tweet your sky. You can share it on Facebook, or you can give the Sky Guide app as a gift to one of your friends. I think this is a really interesting feature because you can have your students go home and study a planet, galaxy, or constellation, and you can have them tweet it through their Twitter that they made with you in the class, and they can share it with their other classmates through the Twitter feed. So I really encourage you to download the Sky Guide app, and I encourage you to have your astronomy students or earth science students to download the Sky Guide app because it really allows them to apply the concepts that are learned in the classroom to real life when they can take their iPad at home or their iPhone and look up at the sky and see a bunch of different constellations, galaxies, stars, planets, and they can find out all of the stuff that they're learning in the classroom through this app, and they can really apply it in a real life situation.